I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else chose you instead. Yeah, lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Got up in the morning, took a shot, that's the ride. And girl, you left my stomach in a knot. Took my lighter and you burned the bridge. Thought you was a writer, no, you're just an idol. You got me feeling like Big Sean in this 5, 4, 3, 2. I deserve a minute, wait a minute. Gotta get up and over, regain my composure. No longer my lover, finally finished and you did it. Girl, you really showed me, think with your heart, don't think with your body, clever. Sorry not sorry, sorry not Justin Timberlake, write me a river. Lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. You tried to convince me it was all in my head, and I felt like it's not you, it's me instead. And I wanted to rock with you, roll with you. Said you was my baby girl, then you left me too. Everything was kosher, perfect like a poster. Then I got word that you wanna leave a picture. Off with somebody else, off with the jerk. With the shame on me, I really thought that it could work. Off with somebody else, off with the loser. Shame on me, I really thought we had a... Lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else choose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else chose you instead.
Yes, global greetings. Welcome to another edition of the Topics here on Real Entertainment Network. It's another beautiful Tuesday evening here in the Federation of Oli and Layamiga as we seek to maintain the only two names seemingly from our indigenous people that have been maintained, Oli Nevis, Layamiga, St. Kitts or St. Christopher. Global greetings to our brothers and sisters throughout the entire Caribbean region. Lots of prayers and blessings going out to those who would have suffered whether via the hurricane or feeling the effects of what's happening in terms of the Venezuela issue. Also want to say whether good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night to you wherever you may be geographically across the landscape. This evening we have another exclusive and exciting edition of the Topics. I have tonight, my regular co-host, Bankie Shabbas King, and we also have our guest for this evening, Ras Judah I, and we are going to be kicking things off, the first, edition of the Topics for 2026. We're starting it off with a spiritual Rastafari African consciousness reasoning. And generally, folks would see the two Rastafari brethren here, but most of the time we're not necessarily defending Rastafari business. Well, tonight would be one of these nights that we defend some Rastafari business, defend some spiritual business, and put some, different teachings and reasonings out there in the sphere of things, and help to awaken the consciousness, or at least make you, think and look at things from a different perspective. So we're looking forward to the reasoning with Ras Judah I and my co-host Bankie Shabazz King. Shabazz, greetings. Welcome to another edition of the Topics.
Greetings, Yahsonn, and greetings to our guest, Ras Judah I. Greatly appreciate you taking the time out to be in our guest this evening. Also, good evening for those who are tuning in on another Tuesday evening of the Topics. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. You could have been listening to any media house, using your time wisely, whichever way you choose to, but you choose to show that interest and spend your time with us. So we greatly appreciate the time that wisely. Also, good evening to the folks that usually support Shabazz Organics at Mansell's Last Stop on a daily basis. Really appreciate you guys coming through, checking out the farm, getting the regular freshly produced. Right now we're harvesting watermelon at present, sorrel, cucumber, star fruit, along with freshly harvested cassava, along with banana, plantain, seasoned pepper, sweet pepper, and bell peppers. And whatever you don't see, you ask for. So the farm is a place to come out and chill. So this evening, definitely, Yahsonn, looking forward to the reason with Ras Judah I, and the consciousness and what's going on within our community at present and beyond, because we have to look way beyond. Because even though we transition, our children and children is still us. So we really got to make sure we leave the place in a holistic way, and they understand where we left. They need to pick up and make sure what we left. And you're supposed to never forget our ancestors and those who come before us, because we are just a repeat of those. And so all of the ancestors live within inside of us. So it's important that but at what's going on at present, I don't think the people that within the power is really seeing how we see things. So to speak consciousness, you'll get a lot of fight, because the system is not designed that way. So the system is designed for you to submit. You see what I mean? So it's like recently, many of the people I've met and come to the shop, and these are elderly people and different ages. And if it's one thing they say at this present point, is that our leaders are weak, very weak, and they are bending over at every cost, just bending over. So the way I see it is like, it seems like they're calling our leaders and parliamentarians gay. I know what that means, because they just keep bending over and letting America do what they want, raping them. So it seems like the new terminology is that our parliamentarians them are gay, because this is how the general public seeing and speaking all of a sudden. So yes, definitely, the reasoning is always appropriate at any time. So definitely looking forward for that reasoning. So welcome, Ras Judah I.
Yes, sir, Bankie. I think the reasoning is timely as well, and some of the things that you would have uttered in your introduction there, kind of put into perspective some of the other things that we may be able to delve into as we go through this reasoning with Ras Judah. Before Ras Judah make his utterance, I think I need to put a little bit of backdrop, because sometimes, you just see another Rasta man. But I want to take a little time and give a little, backdrop, and the man who will give us a little utterance this evening. So Ras Judah I, formerly educator, taught for a number of years at the Bastille High. He is a professional architect by trade as well. One who grew up with the old school before they have all these modern computer programs that design things. And so this is man who designed from back in the day of pencil. you know what I mean, and teaching that skill to the youths as well. Rastafari elder, um, herbalist in his own way, because he has a lot of knowledge where a lot of the plants that we have around us that can make use of in many different ways. Musician and artist. The music you're hearing in the background is one of his tracks that we are going to feature later on this evening as well. So I just felt the need to put a little bit of those things out there in terms of a little introduction to the brethren we're going to be reasoning with. And then I'm going to give the floor to him now to give his own introduction and give us a little bit more, maybe some of the things that I missed. And just tell us a little bit more about who is Ras Judah. The floor is yours, Ras Judah.
It's that, yeah. Give thanks, give thanks for the opportunity we can hold certain kinds of reason. Introduction, you know what I mean? By the good salesman, the one thing about it, you know what I mean? He didn't know he was that. Yeah, man, but I appreciate love it still, you know what I mean? I glorify it, you know? Yeah, but you learn as much as you can. Just like, but you really want to focus on learning where you don't get attention, you know? Yes, it's vital, you know what I mean? Because we are so serious, man. And just about Bible, it's about life, living. And I have life. So, dang. I mean, we have to talk about it, right? And we just can't come in existence and just know about system and system things, you know what I mean? That's bad. Yeah, so give thanks for the intro, you know? That's bad. Yeah, man. Good night, Bankie. Good night,
Yes, sir.
Yahsonn.
Greetings, King.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we will do, we will give you that opportunity to kick things off with, chanting that psalm, and then we can get into the first clip that we may want. Yeah, you say you were going to chant a psalm. You say you were going to chant a psalm, so let me give you the opportunity to chant that psalm, kick things off, and then we get into the first clip.
Before Ras Judah, before you start, try to speak clearly so we can hear you clear, because your voice not coming too clear as possible to the area. All right, go ahead.
True. Yeah, but I say here is last guy. Jah, Rastafari. To be all how good and how pleasant it is for I as virgin do it together in unity, you know. So it is like the precious ointment upon the head of Anna and the beard. Even near and beard that went into the skirt of his garment, and as the dew of Herman, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For these were the Father, Jah Rastafari commanded the life forever and ever, you know. So I give thanks. Yeah, Jah, Rastafari, last year first. And Majesty, man, give thanks, you know.
Nice.
Yes, right.
So we're gonna speak just like that. When you're speaking, you come straight up into the mic, and everything will be clear.
Yeah.
So the audience, yeah, man, good, great. All right, go on, Yahsonn.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have Ras Judah and the show this evening. Want to say good evening to all of our usual listeners. I want to remind folks to, go on over if you're listening on Facebook or you're listening to us on Twitch TV because we simulcast on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. But we are encouraging you to go on over to the YouTube platform, subscribe to the YouTube platform, like, and click on the notification bell so that you could be informed every time we have a program aired on Real Entertainment Network. This evening is the way we're going to kick things off for 2026 with some hopeful reasoning from Elder Judah. We're gonna get into some different aspects and different reasoning. Rastafari, spirituality, His Imperial Majesty, among a number of others. Now, we are going to seek to put in the first clip that may be the basis for this first aspect of the reasoning. Let's see if I could find that one.
Imperial Majesty is referred to as the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. I had heard of that idea. I also met certain Rastafarians. I told them clearly that I am a man, that I am mortal, and that I would be replaced by the oncoming generation, and that they should never make a mistake in assuming or pretending that the human being is emanated from a deity. But despite this clear declaration, millions of Ethiopians still believe that he is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Others at least proclaim him the defender of their faith and the symbol of their power. They always sing to him songs of praise.
Okay, so that was the first clip. Ras Judah in terms of what is your rational reasoning for zooming in on that aspect of the reasoning, not the interview that would have been produced?
Well, I see and heard it being used, right, to kind of confound Rasta, you know what I mean, and make Rastafari lose faith in His Majesty then. And say, well, based on these things, His Majesty is not God. You know what I mean? So it's like they would just see it as well, like he's a Christian. Jesus Christ, I look, he's telling you that, you know what I mean? He say like, you see the part when he say like, he meet with the Rasta man them. Because first of all, his interview where His Majesty was saying that Christ, millions of Christians see him as Jesus reincarnate. And His Majesty has said, well, he heard that too, you know what I mean? But he also tells some Rasta man, never make the mistake of pretending that the human being is emanated from a deity. You know? And that like he's a man and gonna be replaced by the oncoming generation and then, you know what I mean? So it's like man get confounded and say, well, it's not saying God, you know? But then I say, if you don't know, if you know so it's not saying God, then you're gonna know who are God. Right? And most of the time they don't know. But I know you don't choose His Majesty, right? You make the right choice, right? But these are things where if we really like conscious about, you know what I mean? We just lose faith in His Majesty, you know? Because Or when they say, 'cause I do a research on it, right? And he show you when His Majesty, when he talk about the Son of God, His Majesty, when he telling you, don't believe them when they're telling you, no human being come from a deity, right? It's like what the eternal Son of the deity is. The word, because they tell you Jesus is the word, innit? They tell you Jesus is the word of God, where we know what word is. Word ain't mean a man. You say? Word is how we speak and communicate. And the fact he written in the scriptures that God speak and everything come into existence. So word sound is power and create things. You know what I mean? His Majesty no time deny that he's the Almighty. Say? He just a show forward that when whoever telling you the Almighty is this man and must worship this man, don't believe them. Then can I tell you, them same people tell you God is a spirit, right? But Jesus Christ is a man, and that's his son. Check. So how you gonna make them make sense? Can an apple bring orange? You say? Man, if you can dig with me, I say, you know.
So that's your interpretation. Even so,
I
you
was
say even though the utterance of His Imperial Majesty saying that you should never accept another man as deity, you're saying how you interpret that is what you just explained to us.
right. Can you see? But His Majesty, when you do the research, they show you the divine are the eternal Son of God. This thing is,
We hearing you still, you know, you're there still.
oh, yeah, man. So it's like, when I tell you, like, the Son of God, right, who is eternal, who was in the beginning with God. It can't be the last. The last of the creation, you know. He meant man. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, jump out here, you know. Yeah, so when you check it out, right, to the misteaching and the miseducation, you know what I mean? You get lost in illusion. Check. God. Eternal Son of God can't be a man when a man is the last thing they make. Check. And the last, man, the last they make. So, the eternal Son of God cannot be what they might tell you, see, which is right, Jesus Christ. That's right. But even them got a right to do it, you know, but His Majesty actually don't believe that. Check it out, because millions of Christians, he said, see him as that, right?
Okay,
He
but
was millions of Christians, but he said he met with the rest of them in Jamaica, right? He met the rest of them in Jamaica. He said, he tell them anywhere he be in Jamaica, he want Rastas to be there. I remember Rastas were persecuted them times, you know.
right.
So, yeah, and for my Majesty come forward now. Everywhere he go, within the government affairs, he carry Rasta. Yeah. So how His Majesty could love and trust Rasta and the people when they go with Rasta, like a positive Rasta, you know what I mean? Here comes the kings of kings here, Lord of lords, the Almighty Himself, and we embrace the Rastafari, you know. So it's like this year all of these things I tell you in Romans, you know, in the book of Romans, right? Because the Bible, I love the Bible, Rasta. Telling the man the
Okay, but
truth. See in the book of Romans?
hold a second, Judah, because you said that in one breath to defend Rastafari, but then on the flip side of that now, you would hear some say that, well, and which is factual, Haile Selassie is a Christian, was a Christian from the Ethiopian Orthodox faith, and though you are seeking to lay claim to his identification to the Rastafari brethren and sisters when he went to Jamaica, he would have established the Ethiopian Orthodox Church while there as well. So is it really that he went on a Rastafari mission, or is it that he went to still cement the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which is the Christian doctrine within the community? Your view on that, or your take on that?
Well, you see, I'll tell you the truth, when I personally look into things, right? I search out everything, my brethren. I search out the Hindus, I search out Christian, you know what I mean? You search out the Muslim, you know what I mean? You search out ancient African spirituality, you know what I mean? You search them out because I look for the truth, I just say seek and you're gonna find, right, Rasta? So me I say, what you find, right, is that all of them must show the people them love. All of these different organizations, whether it's religion, they must show the people them love for the people them to come at them, because if you not show no love the people them now come. Right? So it's like whether you Christian or all religion equal, no religion, God never make no religion, and man make them things there. It's like they make just institutional the system in order to, change your mind in a certain way, so where you see God, but you really check it out. Religion is like politics. Check it out. Yeah, they divided and keep the people divided still. You see, when God wanted the people to unite, that was the last time I wanted to do, because if you don't unite, where we going? What we are dealing with? We have to unite and respect one another. Check it out. Because if we ain't becoming a better people, becoming less, see, and by you see, I saw them set it, I saw them set it, but it will be the people them have to wake up, see, and I say wake up to look and see where a crash, you have a crash, see, because I really check nothing. Just system. You make a system where you just system. No. See, who make the system now? System like you, Check. So you got you like a slave, and for them to carry out this slave done, but you still carrying it out. Check it out. So emancipate yourself from mental slavery. You got yourself doing that. The system must fall on there. Every day we get up and we try to maintain the system, and all the system do it down first, because you ain't create a system. So who give the system? Can give it to uplift you? Hey, watch here. The man watch cricket back in the days when he had the original West Indies cricket team, right? Where the man changed themselves to be cricketers. The man in the World Cup, them in Virgin. Okay? The man ain't had no coach from no foreign land teaching them nothing. They teach themselves and them man win all the World Cup them. See? And the Roberts and all of them man there. You might used to listen to them things, I wasn't really no cricket fan or nothing, but them things used to excite to see, well, why? Please get you, just get yourself together and just conquer the world with the cricket. Check it out. And the minute them man start to get like the international assistant, the man stand up flop. How come that? Right, so we have to watch yourself. See? You have to wake up. We as African people, see, the Rasta people, we have to wake up. Check. We programming myself, because me I say, right, that way, play the next, I want to play the clip with His Majesty, because you see, he's like, I chose them clip with His Majesty too, right? Because His Majesty is God, you know. This man is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. This is the ancient title, right? I tell you, his history start from like um, Queen Makeda, Queen of Sheba to Solomon, right? He said that's where his history coming from. So you know, long the lineages. Check and showing you that is the God line of people. God choose the line, I tell you choose David line. So when you go manifest through David line. You say, yeah man, read in the book of Kings, man.
Let me look for the other clip.
You know?
Okay, let's see.
All men are equal, regardless of sex, their national origin and tribe. And he also taught us that all men are equal, regardless of sex, their national origin and tribe. And he also taught us all who seek him shall find him. To live in this healthy life, a Christian life, is what makes me follow Jesus Christ. Your Majesty, what advice would you give a person
You see,
who claims of Christ, perhaps for the first time? I would tell a person that's considering the claim of Christ for the first time that it is necessary to have faith in the Almighty, that it's necessary to have love, and that it's necessary to conduct oneself in a manner. He taught us that all men are equal, regardless of sex.
Okay. So your rationale for that selection.
and the reason, man,
Mm.
body identity. Why your family item? What I think, boy, you just say.
Yeah,
Right?
all men are created equal. Yeah. So may agree with that.
Remember who's saying these things, you know, this is just a guy around the world. This is the only conquering lion of Judah. The Almighty Himself has said this. You know, because some of the time we think that well, it's a man like you and me. He ain't a man like you and me. In the sense that like who him be on the inside. The body is just all of us got the same kind of body, material wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we ain't the same on the inside. Right? Yeah, you gotta share the lineage where you come from. You know what I mean? The God line where you come from, you know. The only conquering line I tribe of Judah. In the scripture they tell you. It's only the Almighty got that title there. You know?
So what do you say to like, okay, I mean, I grew up with, you know, this teaching, but what do you say to people who have never, you know what I mean, encountered the Bible? They may have had their own doctrine or teaching, living wherever part of the world where they were never influenced by any form of Christianity. Is it that they're totally excluded from, you know what I mean, reaching to that level?
When you say Christianity, you mean Roman Catholicism, Christianity?
No, me mean in no kind of Christianity, whether Roman, Ethiopian, Orthodox. Because I remember, like, okay, Ethiopia would have had a form of Christianity, which is still different to Roman Christianity, yes. However, there are people can remember the influence of
Opposite.
Christianity never really influenced the whole world, and Christianity never really influenced the whole world. it only influenced a certain section. We happen to be in that geographical space where we got influenced by it. We were influenced in a way that was, after proven over the years, were not necessarily the best way for us. And that is why I guess we kind of pushed back and eventually found Rastafari. Because Christianity, the Christianity that was taught to us and was given to us, was more of a indoctrination, right? But at the same time, like these reasonings about the Bible and seeking to like present a group of people as if they are better than another group of people is a kind of thing, and I think that is what I kind of gather from the clip that was just played with Haile Selassie to some extent, and I kind of use this as my strengthening point for that. When Haile Selassie spoke to the difference between religion and spirituality, and he said that religion is just like a vehicle that one use to get you to spirituality, and that level of spirituality is when you realize that it doesn't matter whatever religion or vehicle get you to that consciousness that we are connected as one, and we are one. We in tune with the animals, we in tune with the air, we in tune with the plants, we in tune with is when you get to that level of consciousness. I think that is the level of spirituality that even Haile Selassie spoke about. So that is my interpretation from it. So I don't know if Bankie wanna add his 2 cents to it, and you give the interpretation of how you got it, because you're the one who selected it. Bankie, you wanna?
Sure.
Well, if you're going, both of you have been speaking a lot on different perspectives and different prospects and aspects when it comes to different aspects of religion. I mean, you asked Judah, I mentioned Judaism and Hinduism and all these different stuff like that. But if we're going to be looking at individual and putting ourselves, if we're going to be worship in a deity, a deity can transform to mean within nature and other goddesses and stuff like that when it comes to the Egyptian and the ancient way. But if we're going to look at ourselves when it comes to as a man, are we gods or are we men? Which one you're going to choose? Man? Because I consider myself a god. And this is how I teach my children them too. No. Because if you're going to tell me, as you're all here speaking, that you all are created in the image of and the likeness of someone, well, my children, it's just that we just repeating nature itself. We're mimicking nature because we're part of nature. And if you have to take religion, if you're going to how we're going to put it, whether it's Hindu, Judaism, Jews, you see what I mean? Or no, they're all practically the same thing. You see what I mean? It's just every time the different dynasty coming conquer is just one, is everything just change and interpreting things different. So as us chatting through this world, we really don't need a next one who look like us to tell us how to live. This is how we all should always respect and honor our ancestors, whether is His Majesty, whether is your next door neighbor. We all are just one, And until we time to look at it in a way like that and realize everything around us within the universe, we are part of everything that we see as the eyes can see. But we're not taught this way. We are just taught in a way of controlled. And it's like my daughter just is 5. Before he's 5, again to an institution for babysitting, where the youth they should be home with the parents as long as possible. But in the point in mind to start control and brainwash them. But it's my duty to teach my youth, all my children them. Even though I might not, so my environment that I raise in is just like you all spoke about it in Orthodox Church and all these things. I mean, I can put up my hand in my library and I can pull on a copy of the Ethiopian as And this was given to me from my uncle Mansa, who is on transition. So I grew up in an environment who is Mansa, coming from a name Mansa Musa, who was one of the richest and greatest king that reigned in Ghana in that time. So I was the reason, but I don't just put things into prospect and put things in a way where I understand my environment where I'm at and leading us. Don't see things how the masses see things and they go to this institution and clap and laugh with them, but they don't believe in these things. Most of them are atheists. Yes, and then you put them to govern you. So how you all expect to have a society when you all think this we're going to come to you all and tell you all things when they don't? They're just mocking the society that they live in. They don't believe in nothing. They laugh after you and smelling your face because the masses go along with these things. So these are sensitive topics to the masses for those who listen. All so I don't really have an issue whatever anyone choose to live and choose to say they believe that word can believe me. You don't know. So I don't deal with belief systems. You see, I deal with what I know. I can look in the mirror and see myself every day and watch every vein in my hand and appreciate the wood that I touch and everything in my environment. I understand vibration and the frequencies and the Christ consciousness and all these different things. So whatever somebody else outside want to think and have nothing to do with me. Man, if you look like me, you can't judge me. You have no power. So I don't worry about when I try in, because I know myself, I know the powers. Because you can chant, a man can chant and do all the way what. He can't make my tree not grow, He can't make my tree not grow. You see me I say, can't do it. So that I know. And it's just, and what people need to understand, if they really want to test the powers within themselves and know they are truly gods, you get them and say, wait, a long time I think about Yahsonn, boy. I'm just saying. Well, Yahsonn call you. The phone no ring. You say, boy, let me go on the road. Boy, long time I think about you. These are nothing coincidental. We are communicating telepathically and the wavelength and the frequencies is connecting. This is how the universe works. This is
natural, man,
You see, but we are being concentrated and being entertained so that we don't have time to think and to know your true self. Many people live their whole life and don't know themselves. I'm not one of those persons. I don't want my children to be those kind of person. It's important to be your own therapist, because the same therapists who want to talk to you want help too, they got issues too. So there's nobody on earth who don't have issues, and these are the reality. So you should not remember, the animals them not pay bills, Whatever we choose to put ourselves to is choices, Everything is choices. You don't need to have the current, I don't need to have this internet here, I don't have to have nothing because I know how to live. So we choose these things. Choices. That's all it's boiled up to, choices. What is important is a little shelter, a little clothing, and food, and environment with people that who truly and genuinely care and have your best interest. And you don't need no more than 5 person. Counting more than 5 on your hand, you're in a problem. You see, you're really in a problem. And these are the realities, okay? Because most people have agendas, no matter how close you think you on them are, whether it's family, your children, whatever it is. As adults, emotion is what this realm carry. Feelings, emotions. So each individual that traveling in this place, the 8 billion, they are responsible for themselves. They don't gotta hear no other human being, me tell anyone else tell them how to live and how to go through life and stuff like that. Once they ain't harming nobody else. That is what once you deal with love and help your neighbor and each one teach one, it's simple. Life is not complicated. Life is not complicated. Because what we look upon right now is, and we're thinking about whether it's Rastafari, Christianity, but what cause all these war? We're not the same religion than them. We're not and politics. And politics are the same thing, because the politics come out of the church. It come out of the church. So everything is belong from the church. Church and state. Everything that I know is self-taught, my virgin. You got information is there. So you got to educate yourself because if you're gonna pose a system, it means you can influence others, and they don't want that. So what our leaders and it's all institution, the school
See,
institution, the church, the institution, the family is everything is set in a way. It's pillars of institution to control you. So this conversation here, whether it's Rastafari, whether it's Hindu, whether it's Judaism, is just whether it's Muhammad, whether it's Abraham, whether it's Christ, and you understand?
aye,
Same thing.
aye.
Same thing. So
He just love
and in the eyes
regardless
of
of
all these
himself and
things,
other people.
well,
Mm.
yeah, but you see, hate is good too. You see, because in some aspect, crime is good, bad is good. So you're seeing love as something
Me
nice, but
not
love is
hate good. I,
you
I
see,
don't love
but
good, you
love,
know what I mean?
yeah, but some see love as being weak. That is what I'm saying. Because these are the environment we live in, and we have to be really. That's why you see war is
Yeah.
and it continue happening because nothing is wrong with these things. You see, so
But
so if you know
even,
how to maneuver
even
with it, go ahead.
but dig this, even if I and I are last time, all right? I remember we come for sure a new way. That's what we are doing now, you know. A new way, which is His Majesty way, right? Because His Majesty say, I kind of can't hear you know, we like you can jump out again. You know?
No, we hearing you, and you go on. We hear you. So you
No, go
just
ahead.
got
That's
to
the
Go
hear
on.
with
thing.
I'm
you. Yeah.
listening. Yeah, you're speaking. I just listening.
Theory. What I say now, right? We brought up in a system that don't care not about us. Right? And by now we should recognize. Right? So now His Majesty come and His Majesty show us a better way. Check. This Rastafari culture what we got. That's the future, you know. Because it's what improving a man. I mean the system doesn't improve you, make you become a better man. See? Babylon system stress you down, right? Rastafari, you know, pick you up and make you become a better person. See, a better person to yourself and to other people, you know what I mean? In the end, you feel good. No, when you come in Christ, like, he's showing you, like, when Yahsonn ask about Christian, you see, man create the thing, but there was always a natural way where man was living, right? Which is in a more love, right? Just like how you see the animal them would have lived, but we live that the truth within a higher way because we have an intellect, right? And we think, you know, in different ways. You understand where we can go and we can develop, right? So I Majesty come forward and show these things. If you check the thing that His Majesty was saying all the time, right? The ways of Babylon, he don't tell them to come perish, right? Because they leave Ethiopia to fight their own war. Remember the battle against His Majesty with Italy. They leave His Majesty to fight his own war. After all of them agree that if this thing was to happen, there was a stand with His Majesty against the aggressor. And the same League of Nations, the United Nations come take a place, and that is where our government go and bow to. Right? And that's the same kind of life, the institute and the people, right? We got the system, see? So, I the wrong system that for the people. But true, either way, we don't establish a life, we find it hard to let it go. We tell you like, we can perish, a lot can perish with it because the whole into it, okay, check the COVID injection, right? If you see within the COVID injection, a lot of people take the injection and they want to tell, but they say the obligation make them take it, you know what I mean? So that's how the system buying you to itself now, you know?
Hold on,
And
Judah.
it's supposed,
Is it fair? Is it fair to say? Is it fair to say that we still holding on to it, or is it really that whatever it is that we seek to present was fought against vehemently? Because you look at, for example, Pinnacle, for example, as an example of us as Rastafari setting up a system, within a system, demonstrating that we could live without that system that they were seeking to present to us, and that we still
sure.
mention now are forced to hold on to and forced to deal with. Because it's a force they're
But,
using to maintain that, it's not something that we just totally welcome. But,
yeah, but how much of us could seek out them knowledge?
huh?
You know, much of us could seek out them knowledge. We don't have the time for that. We got the time just to, you know what I mean,
Like
work for
24 hours in a
Babylon.
day, I mean, you ain't got the time. 24 hours in a day, and I mean, knowledge is
How
more
much of
at your
that Babylon?
fingertips. Not more knowledge is at your fingertips now than it was, because all this information back then, remember Judah, we not had no internet, we not had no AI and all of these things, but we found it necessary to find out about Marcus Garvey and find out about His Imperial Majesty and find out about
So,
Naya Bankie and all of them things and so. So what I'm saying is the youths them were coming now after us still have it even easier, because they don't even got to go read. They could just say, Siri, tell me about whatever. Alexa, tell me about whatever. I mean, so, some more vexed with Kanye West say, you know what I mean, like, we choose to remain ignorant. But
sure,
that
there's a choice.
is a choice. So, I mean, that's just what it is. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why I guess we're having this discussion as well, so that,
It's that,
people can recognize that there is information like this that's out there that we really need to be paying a lot more attention to. And,
that's what
you know,
we
sometimes
see.
we don't have
That's
these
it.
kind of reasons. Yes, I.
Come show you some power, right? It's not just money alone, it's currency. So you see attention is one of the highest currency. Check me show you where you tend to go, the things you tend to go, wherever you put your attention to. That is what go. So even that they give, you showing your attention to give life to things then, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is how we look at life, saying so that you have to emancipate yourself from mental slavery. See? Don't look at life how they want you to look at life.
But then
See?
they're gonna make you feel like you're the odd man out, Judah.
No
I mean,
problem, it's still a
everybody,
man. It's still a man,
everybody,
right?
everybody eating Kellogg's and cornflakes and Fruit of Loops and all of these things, and you want to get up, go make yam porridge and banana porridge and so. Come on, you're out of style. So I saw it make you feel, you got a little
Yeah,
youth now, and you tell your youth, by I you gonna put 2 sugar apple in your bag as your snack and two
you got to
mango.
own yourself.
Where you
Yeah, you
going with
got to
that?
own yourself. You see what you if the government them think them way there, right? You got to own yourself. You have to be responsible for yourself, right? But if you see is the system, check. But by now we should recognize what we are dealing with because we still gotta give Jah account, you know what I mean? We just can't do things on the earth and get way. We have to give the Almighty an account. The man saying that, but I ain't reading no kind of gun there. And me, the man say, like, boy, you believe fire could burn forever? I want to know, who light off the volcano them? You know, what kind of fire burn will make rocks turn into liquid? Solid rock turn into liquid? It's like, so it's like, we gotta realize, like, that we not create ourselves. Check. And we just attending to one thing, which is the system where we get from colonialism. See, that is what we have up. As African people, we have to Lagos. Now watch this. The guy down in Burkina Faso, right? The president. No, and the other 2 states that with him, right? Look, the 51 other countries in Africa like against that. Right? Even CARICOM is against that. Why they ain't gonna join and strengthen what the black African people are trying to do for themselves? Why we gotta let the white man come and do it first?
Because we have been indoctrinated for a number of years, and we have been indoctrinated to be against anything that would uplift us and unite us and bring us together and go against the system that they have designed and have us perpetuating. Like
But
look at where we are. We in 2026, and you still have a governor general. You still have people talking about crown lands. So
can we got a system?
that's what I'm showing you. Like, you know, the last clip though. Let me get into the last clip because we're getting closer to the time where we're gonna take a break. So we're gonna get into the last reasoning for this clip, and I think it's kind of important that we get it in as well too, because especially when Bankie made the utterance that we are gods and he see himself as a god and all that, and there's always been that debate and that discussion, and I think that is part of the difference between the Ethiopian Orthodoxy and the Roman Catholicism and Catholic doctrine, where they only see the humanity, but they don't look at the divinity of man and the divine side of man. And so it is as a result of the lack of that why they would not necessarily accept that when we say that we are gods and we see ourselves as gods, even though the scriptures say that.
Sure.
Pope Kyrillus of Alexandria and Patriarch of the See of St. Mark, who retains a primacy of honor in Ethiopia. The Coptic Church, and consequently the Ethiopian Church, belongs to the monophysite group of churches which teach that Christ had one nature, that his humanity and divinity became one without intermixing, and that his divinity never separated from his humanity. There are thousands of churches in Ethiopia, usually round, made of mud bricks, and thatched with straw. They contain 3 concentric circles, and in the center, behind doors, is the sanctuary with a square altar up to a patriarchate by His Holiness Pope Kyrillus of Alexandria and Patriarch of the See of St. Mark, who retains a primacy of honor in Ethiopia. The Coptic Church, and consequently the Ethiopian Church, belongs to the monophysite group of churches which teach that Christ had one nature, that his humanity and divinity became one without intermixing, and that his divinity never separated from his humanity. There are thousands of churches in Ethiopia, usually round, made of mud bricks, and thatched with straw. They contain 3 concentric circles, and in the center, behind doors, is the sanctuary with a...
Okay, so basically saying, like in Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, his humanity and divinity was seen as one, and I guess that is why. Go on.
You were saying, right, that Christ, right? When I tell you Christ, he had one nature, right? According to the Bible, it tells you Christ, Jesus Christ, was a man with one nature. His humanity and his divinity never separated. That was the concept of Christ. So they're telling you, Christ is a divine man. You understand? This was the kind, when they say Christ, they ain't thinking nothing outside of you, or nothing like they would teach you in modern Christianity or Roman Catholicism, you see? But the ancient tradition, you was the God, like what Bankie was saying, you see? And you really are the God. But see now, they were living up to a certain set of principles. I show you in a Romans that the power of God is Christ. Christ is what the term of the muse, right? But it's a set of principles that is in the Bible that you can find it in any faith. Any people say, well, most ancient people live the way they do. You check out the original way a whole man to live, right?
So is Christ a consciousness? That's what you're really saying then.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Just like a Rasta is.
So there's different levels of Christ's consciousness.
Rastafari, and you see Rastafari is.
Because this Yahsonn or this Jesus was Yahweh. He's not the first.
There's
other Christ before him with the same title. That's what. Am I correct?
Yes, man. They are correct forward, Rasta.
We just we just reasoning for those who are listening to understand these
fullness.
conversations. Because
See?
what you said is, what are you speaking of is consciousnness, raising your level of consciousness to get a different level when you're speaking Christ, not just yes. There might be a person, or many person named Jesus, in a sense. We're speaking about Christ Himself. Is a consciousness, different levels of awakening.
From the beginning, you check it out. See, and show you these when you live. Can't hear you, I hear you.
You go on, we're hearing you. We're giving you the chance to reason. So you go to and then we utter. Yeah.
Yeah, so I say forward, right? It's like I say, is consciousness. You know what I mean? Once we live by these principles, then you activate the God force in you. You see? And then the things that will come, remember, we hear. We ain't just human. The human being is a complex creature, you know. The human being ain't just like a slave. And most of the time we see ourselves just as a slave. You know, the property of someone, but you could be the someone and own yourself. See? And invest in yourself, know yourself, that you yourself have a lot of ability. Watch it, you just live a certain way and you're going to see what can happen. See? If you stop eat certain food for a certain time, you're going to see what happens with your health. You know what I mean? So it's like, you just change the pattern where you learn through colonialism, right? And in the Bible, you know, these things in the Bible, you don't have to look in another book. It's in the Bible. The ways of how man to live, you understand, but the guy style as religion. So a lot of man stay from the Bible, they even well born the Bible. Check it out. The Bible is a book. See, we're showing a lot of things forward. You know what I mean? I get it free. You check it. So you just read it and you see what I show you. You know what I mean? So he's showing you like how you own back yourself. Check? Because God make you sovereign. He show you all man are equal. Regardless to the work you do in the system. All of us are equal.
But if you speak in love, those who practice Judaism speak in love, the Jews speak in love, but yet they still can't come under one umbrella because this one you're right, this one you're wrong, this one you're this, and you're still creating animosity amongst the community. So
yeah,
because they're still
that's still
not that willingness to appreciate and embrace each one for the how they choose to live. You see what I mean? And this is what and you look amongst us.
Rasta all over the earth. See?
Yeah.
So you couldn't be Rasta than me, you know, because
brethren, I'm loving the reasoning. And I mean I love the direction and the discussion, and I'm sure folks out there listening to love the engagement. Here's what we're gonna do at this point. We're gonna take a little break. We're gonna get into some of the music. We're gonna get into some of the clips and some of the ads, and we're gonna do a little bit of things behind the scenes, and then we get back with Ras Judah I and the Alkēbulan consciousness reasoning. So people, hold tight. We're gonna be back with you in just a bit.
At Shabazz Organics, we believe real people deserve real food. So we're bringing you to Mansa's Last Stop, a farm where food barriers are removed and legacy is sustained. We believe there's power in picking, so we allow you to decide what leaves the farm and enters your kitchen organically.
Beat the summer heat, come and get your carambola, star fruit, make very nice drink. Come pick them yourself. All the trees them full of vitamin C, antioxidant, build up your immune system. Mine's the Last Stop. A whole shopping bag for only $10. Half a shopping bag for $5. If you get $2, you must get some. Come get your carambola. Don't want to go to waste. Let's go, people.
Midas Asensio Inc. invites you to our Reflect and Reset Micro Retreat. This event will be hosted by Dr. Kay Nisbet, a neuroscientist and mental health advocate here on Nevis. Reflect and Reset is an annual event designed to help you accept change, reflect on the past year's achievements and challenges while setting goals for the year ahead. During this relaxed and reflective event, you'll engage in a neuroscience discussion about your brain and change, a guided writing session, and of course, refreshments to keep you recharged. The events take place on Fridays at 7 p.m., Saturdays at 11 a.m., and Sundays at 3 p.m. at L'Escale or Luna Restaurant every weekend in January. To RSVP, call or WhatsApp 662-6521. The events are just $150 EC or $55 US per person, with 10% off for students, teachers, and healthcare providers. We invite you to register for a solo experience or bring a friend, parent, child, sibling, or partner for a paired experience. Start the new year with intention. Step outside your comfort zone. This event is designed to help you improve your pattern recognition, mental focus, clarity, and critical thinking, as well as process your successes and setbacks and provide a sense of control and purpose as you start the new year. RSVP today. Start the new year with Midas Asensio's Reflect and Reset Micro Retreat. We're waiting for you.
Delicious pastries by Dr. Kay Nisbet. Support, support, support.
When comfort, class, and reliability matter, choose the ride that delivers more. Imperial Rides Transportation Services, where every journey is treated like royalty, from airport transfers, private events, shopping trips, island tours, and executive travel. Imperial Rides moves you in style, clean, comfortable, on time, every time. Book your premium taxi or tour service today. Call or WhatsApp 869-665-8459 or email elandflavas@gmail.com. Imperial Rides Transportation Services. Your journey, our priority.
Duration of your old golf cart you have around, just contact Joni. Whether you want it different, customized. He's the only, when it comes to restoration of golf carts in St. Kitts and Nevis. We've been doing this for the last 2 years. Whether it's restoration, when it comes to from styling them up, whatever design you want, you dream of, you dream it, he fixed it. So support roll deep golf carts restoration and stuff like that at Lamper Hill. Our boy Nathaniel Nisbet, telephone number 665-9912. Tell them you hear this about when you have some golf cart. Even if you go in St. Kitts at the airport, all them golf carts you see around the island driving will look nice and lovely. It's done right here in Nevis by one of our talented young boy, Nathaniel Nisbet, known as Joni. So give him a call at 869-665-9912. Beat the summer heat. Come and get your carambola, star fruit, make very nice drink. You can come pick them yourself. All the trees them full of vitamin C, antioxidant, build up your immune system. Mine's the last stop. A whole shopping bag for only $10. Half a shopping bag you pay $5. If you get $2, you must get some. Come get your carambola. Don't want to go to waste. Let's go, people.
Yes, greetings, and we are back with another edition of the Topics here on Real Entertainment Network, segment 2. Just took a break, and we heard from some of our sponsors. And you can be a sponsor as well. You can, just reach out to us here on Real Entertainment Network if you want to, advertise your business or any products or services that you offer. We've got some very interesting deals and packages for you. So just, reach out to us, one of us, Bankie, myself, Ira, and or any other member of the Real Entertainment Network team, Alan, Reese, any one of us, and we will definitely organize to have your business being aired here on Real Entertainment Network. We are having some very interesting, Alkēbulan consciousness reasoning with Ras Judah I, our guest for this evening, and Shabazz Bankie King, my regular co-host here on another edition of the Topics. As we await Ras Judah back in his space, I would want to at this time give folks the numbers if you want to call in 1-869 665-8459 or 1-869-662-7196. Those are the numbers to call in if you want to, add your 2 cents to the discussion, and or you want to ask a question for clarification, and or if you just want to add, your comments or any, aspect of reasoning, we definitely welcome you on. Want to say good evening to Laurette Wharton, saying good evening, who's on the Facebook wall. Akeem Walwin says blessed love. Annette Morton is watching. And we just want to say a very special good evening to you folks. Those of you who opt to comment either on the Facebook or the YouTube. Let's see what's going on over on the YouTube platform. Over on the YouTube platform, we've got Janet Grell Hull saying good night. I'm in the house. Bridget. Okay, I am not certain about that title, so I'm just going to work with Bridget. She says, good night, watching from Canada. She's Judah's sister. Okay, so Judah, your sister is locked in. Reginald Douglas says, blessed night. Spyler Flick says, believe Bankie when he said that. Well, I guess this would have been a little further back, so I'm not sure exactly what point that he meant when he said that. But I think we're having a very timely discussion and reasoning, and there are a lot of things sometimes when it comes to Rastafari, African consciousness, spirituality that sometimes we don't really want to delve in. And as Bankie spoke to earlier, and I think it's Judah as well too, sometimes when it comes to certain topics and certain issues and so on, it is not something that sometimes, people pay a lot of attention to. Sometimes topics like these, people zoom in for a bit and then they zoom out because it's not, the spicy, maybe political topics, but we at the same time still have to make the time to present these kind of reasoning and also show people that we don't just really get up and choose not to follow some of the indoctrinations that were presented to us, or the level of religiousness that were presented unto us. We sort of distance ourselves from it because we were able to learn of other things that were able to open up our consciousness to certain other things. And so as we do this, we seek to share some of that consciousness, and we are having a reasoning, as Bankie would always remind us, it's just a reasoning, as we do generally, some master virgins, as we sit together, we call it a reasoning, and we would have our engagement and discussions. I mean, Judah would know, because that's actually how I met Ras Judah I. We were actually reasoning about it a couple of days ago because one of the elders who we used to reason with transcended. But it was me, Judah I, Luba, Nigos, who would have, left us, and Naphtali, who has left us as well, and it was, you know, like a regular for us to meet up, you know, once or twice a week and just reason and some deep, you know, discussions and heated debates and discussions. But at the end of the day, we back together the next weekend, you know what I mean? Reasoning, somebody go home and do some research and come back and say bye. You know, well, that point
Yeah.
that you had last week, you know what I mean? I went and do some research and I come back and, you know what I mean? And we edit for each other and we help uplift each other, iron sharpen iron, and, you know, we strengthen each other on the way. And so this is
Yes, sir.
part of what we are seeking to put forward to the youth to the still, that you could disagree without getting violent or without wanting to take your brother's life because he don't share the
Yes.
view that you share. Bankie and I do that on a regular here, and we don't wait until we are in a private space to disagree with each other. Right here in the ear, me and Bankie would do reasoning, and something he said and I might not agree with, and I say, well, no, Bankie, well, me see it so. This is how I see
Yes,
it,
sir.
and you know, and so we seek to put forward this energy, and this is what we want folks to take away from some of what we do here. That you could agree to disagree, and yet still be angry with the brethren and sister. We ain't agree on that point, but we could agree on maybe 99 other things. So why should we forget about the 99 other good things that we could deal with just because we have a difference on this one thing? And so, yeah, that's just something
Yes.
that I felt the need to put it out. Bankie, I mean, yes, I see you got another one. Say, go on.
Yeah, well, practically, the conversation, the reasoning is really about belong to love. You see what I mean?
Go.
That's what it really boiled down to. But if it's just like I just show a stuff, I mean, and I add about with a golf cart. That is this evening, I just went to check a virgin and it was in the same environment. So I was just watching the other golf cart within the environment. So I'm saying, oh, again, and next Sanford, you know what I mean? Where all the old golf cart have reached a point, they just pile up in the place here. And the guy try really deal with something because I could see some like different color and whatever. So just trying to assess the area. So then, so me ask, what going on with all this golf cart? And then the man said, "But this is a thing here, I know me deal with." Me say, "What do you mean deal with? Deal with what?" He said, "Well, refurbish golf cart from the dump, the one that come from the dump where people throw in." Me say, "This will come from the dump, and you do what? You spray it over and put it up and all this different stuff and whatever that what you do. So you don't drive. I know the youth to be driving heavy concrete truck and operating crane, not knowing he don't sit down that and fully self-employed restoration of golf carts within Singles Davis." So me say, so wait, so the government know you have the skill set and then I give you $2 million to set up a nice shed. You know what I mean? I kind of vibes and train others. He said, "Boy, no, me approach him and them and laugh after me." He said, "Really?" So I had to come and give the man a forward because this is somebody I know who I wanted to come and interview about, talk to the youth about the skill set of having a trade, a skill when it comes to driving heavy equipment and operating cranes and driving tractor, hold a pulley band and all the different things. And I kind of, but I didn't know the youth had the other skill set then give up all these things. So I was blown away. So I had to come and give him a forward and push these things here. So if you have, I said all this to say, and then you see the young lady advertising, Dr. Ken Nisbet again. When you find our society have this love, when it comes to this seriousness, when it comes to human resource, our people, and then we're not using our own resources to push them, elevate them, but yet we attack with these people who go to church and all, when the politicians just are being representing us, but that shows me is just a fraud. They're not believing. Can you see the believer they deal with, you know? They're not genuine with going to these churches and clapping, and when they have it at the function, they pray. They need to stop praying. I want to say to all these different politicians, they're going to like take out prayer out of it, leave the God thing out of it, because this doesn't make no sense. Because you can't tell me you have all these resources, all these human talent around here, and you now use it to give to your people. It's just a selective few. And then you want to take up the same resources and give it to the same big investors around here that come here. But my virgin, What these people doing, we can do the same. The brain cells is not different to our brain cells. And we have a more genuine interest in protecting the environment because we are the indigenous people for here for hundreds of years. So we are taking up the most important resources, our human resource and our land, and we're fooling our people. The land then can be built and developed by our own contractors. We have Yaga, you have Boga, you have folks. I could call out 200 contractors off my head. You see what I mean? And engineers and acting something. But we people is just good enough to build the same building then for others who not got no money, and the young youths in them around here who are the talent. I mean, Yahsonn young farmer. And they have young other farmers who have invested in this so much. But they're not getting assistance. So this conversation here is not just about religion, because religion means help your brother. Spirituality means if you see your brother need help, well, forward and help because resources is there. But no, we know how we're going to help the people and we're going to bring in more people. So now all people know is bamboozling us. I'm finished up, Yahsonn. To tell us we need to populate the island more. Mind, every day people are calling me one place to live, one place and looking working now. But now I make sure. So I want to incorporate this all into the reasoning, because all these have to do with consciousness and the love of our people, because this is what we speak about. And ask Mr. Edinburgh, I don't know the gentleman, but now you have a weekly show on Sundays, and before he used to be on Freedom on different shows supporting the Mr. Jew. Now the government have one. He is a special advisor to the Prime Minister. So I was his last call on Sunday because I wanted to ask him one question, which I know what his answer would be, but the answer is not from me. So I didn't call his show from my personal view. I want the world to listen to him when I answer the question, what are you going to say? Because when I asked him, does the Prime Minister have a right to come to his people to ask them a decision like this, that he bend over and let Mr. Trump hump the whole cabinet? He said no. He said no fast too. I mean, he like no wait for the answer, like even like premeditate the answer because I asked him, he said no so fast. We say okay. These are the reality. These guys don't care about us. This is just slavery. That's all it is. Because if you love your people, you must consult with your people, because it will affect your people. Because there's nothing going on within the economy of singles and navies. We can see these things. So how you're not going to consult, and it's not like you just know about these things. So all these things we're talking about, whether it's Rasta, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Muslim, whether it's Hindu, any country or any leaders that put more fear and more pressure on the people cannot love the people, my virgin. So I cannot support these kind of things there. Yes, sir. This is the reality.
Bankie. We sometimes act as if we live in a world where, like, we ain't seeing what these people are doing in front of us. Bankie, let's face it, right? These guys continue to manage and manipulate a system that they themselves know was not designed to benefit us. They are fully aware, so they are fully conscious and fully choose to continue the oppression of their brothers and sisters. They come from among us, you know. The plantocracy was Caucasian Europeans. All that has happened is those Caucasian Europeans have been taken out of those seats, and people who look like me and you were placed in those seats to continue the same system that was never designed for us in the first instance, and they are not making any efforts to change it. As a matter of fact, they would do anything to suppress it, and we use the example of the Pinnacle in Jamaica, when a man opted to buy, I think it was about 5,000 acres of land, and the man had their own community. That would have been like, I guess, the ancient SSZ, where he had his own community, own people, own carpenters, own doctors, own farmers. The man had their own business going on. The man was not dependent on King Charles or Queen Elizabeth or whoever was in charge at that time. And them man were telling the people them that we ain't bowing down to that king there. We king is his imperial majesty and his only his imperial majesty we are adhering to. And them man decide to mash up the community, take away the land. All I know today, the family and descendants of the land, and the land were paid for, it's like a kind of Wally Weird kind of instance in Jamaica, because the lands were paid for, and up to now, the descendants of those lands are fighting to at least even get, I think it's 5 acres or 10 acres or something now, from lands that their father and grandfather would have paid for. Government take it and just do what they want with it. So, these are some of the things that I look at. We are still mentally, they have the part Rastafari and this kind of teaching where we teach self-sufficiency, where we teach, you can, depend on your own, you don't have to depend on these people in your system, right? And they fought that, and they tell you that we're crazy, and we're mad, and oh my gosh, they're using drugs. They put cannabis in the worst category in the world, and then say we're crazy, and we're criminals because they criminalize us for cannabis. But in 2026, you still have a governor general who is the highest position in the hierarchy of government, paid the highest set of money. When you got independent from England ain't give you nothing. You have to go build your own economy. And imagine you're taking taxpayers' money to pay for a governor general that you say is symbolic. This is the kind of madness that we're dealing with. And then when you really bring these things to the people, they say we're crazy. But tell me that ain't crazy. You're telling me you're being independent. Bankie got me enslaved. Bankie do what he want with me. Bankie give me freedom and still get me work for 4 years extra for free, even though me supposed to be free. And then when me say me get independent, me still pay Judah
What is crazy, Yahsonn?
to represent
What is crazy?
Bankie as my governor general because he is my representative. Because Bankie can't be in all of the different territories, so he got to go and representative there. Tell me what you say is crazy, Bankie, because we want to have one more crazy than what me just say.
No, what is crazy is a carpenter carve a piece of wood and call it with a nice design and call it a mace, and you can't nothing could keep it out of mace. But that in a real witchcraft, them in their work some kind of high science in the virgin. If a piece of wood in there and the police now march him in on the shoulder, march him out, nothing could keep in there. What the symbol like? What is that?
And these are the people.
So what is that?
These are the people who say are leading us. These are the people who we expect to look out for us, when in reality they are looking out for themselves. We got crown land. Here, all these crown lands that they're talking about is lands that our foreparents fought for. Nobody in a Sinkis and Navy supposed to get to buy in a land. Everybody, to me, should have done get an acre land. And if you want to sell some to somebody else for investment, you sell some for investment. But nobody should have got to buy land after they done, their grandfather and their great-grandfather done work and had to work for 4 years extra, even after slavery, after emancipation, work the next 4 years free. And then you tell me, you people now get the land and you're forcing people to buy, and even when they buy it, you're still taking tax from them again. So you got a deed for the land, so every year you still got to pay land tax for land that you're supposed to own. These kind of madness that we're dealing with. And then these people are the same people now who tell you now, after you have this land and you want to develop this land, you want to develop a business on this land, all kind of taxes and all kind of things you go pay. But then a foreign investor is going to come in and they're going to tell the foreign investor, well, you don't have to pay any taxes, you don't have to pay any concession. As a matter of fact, we're going to give you some what they call it, some shares that you can sell to get back the money that you spend. And as a matter of fact, you don't even have to bring any money. We will let you use one of our institutions and borrow some money from our institutions to develop the project that you say you're building. And Judah, I want to start his business. And Judah, I got a whole heap of red tape to go through. I got to pay all kind of tax. This is what we're dealing with. And when you speak about these things, you Rasta, you crazy, you smoke up all your thing and you come talk some foolishness.
You see, Yahsonn, like, you know, I mean, he say, you ain't got a vision, you're going to perish, you know, and is being discharged for lack of knowledge, you know. Even we as a nation of people right now, you know, because right now we're supposed to know that we're not going to government, right? Because they will show you that if you don't believe me, check out next time they got voting and they got the swearing. They're going to tell you the allegiance is to this power, not to you, to this power. See? So that's where everything gone off. Now, like, we make the system so they just continue in the same slavery, they're controlling you. But you just take on a different form, you playing a part as them, you selecting, you don't press them. Saying that's the part you're going to play. You know, but at the end of the day, a pure tax until you come off of the earth, you see. You don't see nothing building nobody, you know what I mean? But you see, I'm going to show you the eye. We don't own the island, you know. We own the farmland them from the planters. Remember they tell the southeast been owned by the planters. See? So all of that is the island still. You know, and it's British Island it is. And then man, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying, is that Africa is willing, you know. We ain't trying to make no forward connection. We have to make the move. See? We have to make the move. You know, as carry come, them have to start to be thinking along them lines. Africa can play now. You understand? We have to make the move. See? Because you don't see what going on in terms of like the war machine and waiting. You know, really, you know what I mean? Because the man got some wicked intention. You know? So,
But
you
Julian,
know,
I mean, sometimes I wonder if we are not just living in a kind of fantasy world to some extent when
a
we speak
fake
like this.
wall.
No, why I say this is because like we have some realities that we have to deal with. As much as we would want carry come to see these things, as much as we would want, you know what I mean, even our African brothers and sisters to come together and see these things. You remember another answer you just made a while ago there, where you say, look at what Abraham Traore doing over there and the other two brothers over there in them Sahel countries,
Yes, sir.
trying to come together. But look what the most, I mean, oppressors. I mean, even America and the other
It's
countries
going great.
using our own brothers and sisters to try to
It's
take them out. So
sure.
what I'm saying is, we ourselves in united. You understand?
Sure.
We ourselves in united, and so that is what. Look at it. The prime minister said that he signed an MOU with USA to bring in deportees from other CARICOM countries. However, I'm
See.
sure it's more than 10 years. I'm sure it's more than 10 years CARICOM regional integration has been on the table. Where now you wouldn't be getting deportees. You would have been opening up the market for all of the top experts and whatever else to come in the country. But you're fighting down that. But then you're still telling me again and in the next breath in Nevis now that you want to bring in another 40,000 people. But you still ain't want to bring in CARICOM and you're still fighting against Haiti. So you see the kind of issues and inferiority complexes that we have amongst ourselves still that's been playing out
Yeah, but
in front of our faces.
see, and these ideas is like imposed upon us. We are not we deciding with our destiny, you see, but we accepting it. See, these things being imposed. See, it's not like the population say, well, all right, we need to get more people on here because whatever. It ain't like nothing like that. just some guys say, well, it would be a good idea. I got to need more people down there. Everybody said, yeah, we need more people. Same because I want to go IMF. Yeah.
So, how the Rastafari community feel about all these things when it come to all this land, when themselves can't even get a 50 acres for themselves to have their own community, and at the same time the government is fighting to give thousands of acres to entertain special zones and stuff that the Rastafarian community here wanted to be done. Kano thing had have some land there. With Zamba trying to do something similar the same way with his pinnacle and the kind of vibe where he do his tabernacle and stuff like that, and doing farming and the kind of vibes, and get a lot of fight the same way. I know the government is important. So how does the Rastafari community not sitting back and allowing all these things to come forth when themselves is not given land that is owed to them here? A 500 acres, 1,000 acres. Look over in what St. Vincent will give their people over 1,000 acres to plant herb and to plant food. The community in Antigua, they get in all. Well, how can I get this community here now get nothing? So it's a different in these communities in Antigua, getting tractor, excavator, all these whole thing in St. Vincent, the same way. Here, nothing. So I'm just saying, I'm just showing you who is been extended the offer to. Or people are willingly encouraging our people to give up what they have to create special areas, whereas no, because whatever they see that we are not populating the country too fast for whatever reason they have it in their head, in their mind, to enrich themselves. By all means, if they use the place where we are not populating the island fast enough. But them who talk only got 1 and 2 children, some not gonna not have. Period. You see what I mean? So what they must say no make no sense. You see, those accusations can't hold water because some just not gonna get on period because of the lifestyle. So who they talking about? Yes, go ahead, King.
Living today is expensive. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like you need more people. The people them till they can't even get a good salary, people out of work, and if the more people, I mean, I don't know. They're coming to build. They're coming to
leaders.
jobs. That is the benefit, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you what the benefit is. You want me to tell you what the benefit is? Here's what the benefit is. Our elected officials have failed us, right? In every aspect, all of what they would have attempted, and I'm not talking about just this present government. I'm talking about ever since independence up until this date, they have failed us. They shut down. Hold on. I'm gonna show you. They shut down the cultural industry, right? So to speak, right? That focus on tourism, right? Then,
yes, sir.
Tourism, they realized was a shaky industry, fickle. Okay, they said we're gonna move into some offshore investments and offshore banking. That became a shaky industry because they started to get blacklisted. Then they move on to SIDF or CBI.
See, I like the department there.
So now they reach to the point now where so see what I'm saying? All of these things have failed. So now the last thing they could do now, and this is why they're looking to, as I say now, populate the economy, bring in all of these people. So they're telling you that they want people. That's what I'm saying. You're telling me one bet you want people. What happened to CARICOM people then? Because we have been saying in CARICOM that we want to open up the borders in CARICOM. What happened? You know why they don't want CARICOM? Because in their mind now, CARICOM is CBI. When the people who they're looking to bring in, they're looking to get some money off of them to keep the economy flowing. So they don't want them kind of people who now going to be paying that extra CBI tax. Because if you come from CARICOM, you're not going to pay that CBI tax, whatever it is. You're going to be free to move in. So it's a money scheme. And them are looking another way to generate money, because if you have been following what's going on in the region right now, the threat is to shut down the CBI industry, not just get them to fix it up, but to shut it down. And our government, if you have been following our Sinkis and Nevis government over the past couple of years, the CBI is the main aspect of revenue generation for Sinkis and Nevis. So what
Yahsonn.
diversifying the economy, because it's over 60%. They were depending on over 60% of CBI.
They're not shut down. Threat or no threat, they might make adjustment. They're not shut down one. They're not shut down that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have all this prison project continue. They wouldn't have. They're not shut down.
Hold on, they shutting down in the hand, you know. They shutting down in a just about. You see, just about watch here. Remember what America just do to Antigua and Dominica and tell them, watch here. If I ain't done with this thing, you mean I give them a visa, you know. So when them man start to tell these people,
no. You see what happened. What happened there? You have to understand these things in a virgin. You just use a word choice. There always a choice in a virgin. This is not Edinburgh using and mentioning what are you all willing to give up more than 30 times on a show Sunday, you know. You understand? Keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, playing with words, you know. There's always a choice. You don't sign a document and not come to your people and say, Virgin, my people, this is what's happening. The United States government want us to bend over backwards and say, and so we're going to accept these people, and it's not your own nationals. All right? I'm just hypothetically, all right? Why? And this is what we're going to stand for. I'm coming to you all. I'm standing with you guys, whatever decision you want to make. If you're not going to, if we don't sign the agreement, they won't want, if you apply for a visa, they don't want the $5,000 or whatever. What are we going to do? Because Americans don't want to come here more than us want to go over there. All this business that happen here in America, the same Virgin, charge them come here at $5,000 when they reach by your airport, and when they leave in the next $2,500 US to leave the departure tax, when the cruise go Virgin, they want to come here, they have business here to me, Virgin. Who forces it owned by? Who they marry them owned by? Who all them businesses owned by? They don't have business invested to my Virgin. As the masses been meeting me and telling me, how come the Rasta? As the masses been coming to and having and conversing with the eye, can we ask somebody nothing, you know? Is them start the conversation? What's going on with your government? Even the tourists and them, what happened to your what's your government dealing with? I don't know. You say, of course, they're bending over to Trump. Trump is humping them. I don't know what humping, that's what they're saying. So they just they don't have no balls. I mean, I know some of them not gonna balls. You understand? But you let the whole cabinet not gonna balls. This is just the reality. Because they Virgin Bahamas was asked to accept people too. But Bahamas said no. Hell no. Bahamas have business there the same way. But it's when you're just willing to submit and making excuses. If this is what Edinburgh want them to get paid to advise the Prime Minister to get the $10,000 a month for, he goes to ask Nancy about Timothy and Faika. Virgin, if Timothy saying on to Faika to speak to the people, he wrong. That's the reality. This is not tit nonsense. I'm not here to we are sacrificing the future of our country. You understand? Because we just bowing down for control mechanism for China and America and all these places fighting for world power around this region, and we're just submitting ourselves to it.
Yeah, Bankie, but dig this, right? Suppose the government go and make a move like Bahamas and say, well, no, right? And the American government say, well, no visa to come in America for nobody from.
No. But come and talk to your people. That's what I'm saying. You come to your people, you come to your people. You don't make a decision yet. If the people say, we don't want it, then the people say, we don't want it. The people make a decision not to deal with America. That's it. American people have to come here too. This is about Americans don't come here, Virgin.
Okay. Hear me out. Okay, go on.
So really the people have a part to play in the whole, you know what I mean? Because you can make a decision. the people
the
them
people
know.
stand
Because
with
remember
you
the last
with
time the
these kind of
government make a
decision,
decision, right?
yes.
And then use the visa and all of them things, yeah. They might change, you know what I mean, change the government, but they're back to the same government anyway, you know what I mean? So
But if you come to your people, then the people is standing with,
the
with
people
your
them,
leader.
that's what I'm saying, you. Right? The people them have
That's
to
it.
wake
Come
up
to your people.
themselves. The people them have to
People are given a
wake
choice.
up and know what kind of choice they're making, right? And you
Yeah,
see,
so
the choice
Bankie,
that they're making is to done with the system totally, you know, whether government or opposition is the same thing it be. The same system it is. The system
Yes.
itself, right, need
Agreed.
to go check, and that is what the brethren them in Burkina Faso them do. That's the move they make, see, to determine things for
The people.
themselves.
so Bankie,
Yes, sir.
I
Go
hear
ahead.
you, right? And I subscribe to you in terms of the need for consulting with the people. So I'm totally in agreement that let's use the example of the signing the MOU with the US. I feel that the Prime Minister should have come to the people prior to signing that, and as you say, well, hey, look, this is what America is saying, blah 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 blah. However, what I am not in agreement with is in the reality of the situation that we are in. We ain't got no army. We ain't got no serious military. We ain't got no serious protection. So
But what
even
does
We
those
ain't
have to do with
gonna see
anything,
it.
yes, son?
hold on, even the
What
visa
have,
aspect.
what have to do with anything?
Hold on, but I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna tell you now what you got to do with
What?
it. Because
Yes.
just like how you see, just like how you see
What?
as powerful as Venezuela army be, right? Because they got the
Mm-hmm.
army and they got the military and they were even arming civilians to get themselves prepared for what eventually took place anyway still. So my point is, if let's say, even after coming to the people and the people say, where, and Dr. Drew say, well, by the people, my people say, where, and the man still
Mm-hmm.
want Drew, the man could trump up whatever and say, well, by find something, you say, well, something with maybe the CBI, and we're gonna come to arrest him to
Yeah,
take
but
him to court. Take
me
him out.
not highfalutin and speculate all kind of things. You understand? Me not got to.
No, me not
The
highfalutin,
point is,
This is
well, your
the fear that
highfalutin
all
kind of happen. That's the whole
right
point.
now.
Deal
So
with
you
the
can't say
situation at hand, brethren. But me not know
uh,
going to go on, so me not think about that. Because if the people stand with a decision, the country stand with a decision, the country stand to take whatever coming to them. That is the point, my
So,
brethren. And you got to sacrifice for you, because you got 5-year-old, you know. You see what I mean? Well, I know I go heaven then. I lie, I tell then. I don't believe in a heaven then. I love these material things a lot. And that's the way it is. So I lie, I tell
so,
then. A pure lie, these things are be then. And that's the way
so,
it is.
well,
I am here
look,
because I sacrificed for the Buckley's riot and beyond.
yes, sir.
Ancestors never stop fight my brethren. I will
Yes,
not
sir.
submit. If you want to submit and make excuse, me not make none of my brethren. I'm not into it. I am not. I
look,
have girl pick me, Yahsonn. So I got a reason
uh,
to make tough decision. If you want to submit and bend over and turn gay, your choice. Me not vex with the man who want be gay. You know. You see me try to show you. Me not got a problem with that. But you don't try to convince me. I not make no excuse me, virgin. I ain't submitting to nobody. You must be tough.
look,
You must be tough to make decision to run a country. This is being weak. This is not being tough decision, my virgin.
So that means you're saying then, here is it that you have this destiny project that is supposed to be on its way, and you have all this pushback from all walks of the community and so on. But yet you have a leadership that is telling you, well, then he and
So
his
who to
cabinet is
blame?
not going to change. He and
Who
his
to
cabinet is
blame?
not
If
going
this
to
been a
change.
Grenada, if this was Grenada, that would have been on the street though. Are the people to blame? Are the people to blame? Is me to blame, me brethren? Are we the issue? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. If the people don't want something, they would not get it. If the people don't want something, that's the whole point I'm trying to show you. We don't want to make sacrifices and we're holding sides. I am not holding sides when it comes to the detriment of my 5-year-old. Why would I want to hold sides? Why would I want to hold sides? I'm not doing that. You see? I'm not making an excuse. I got to represent her. And the best decision I know and raise, because I know when these things happen, the navies that we all know, and say we neighbor string barrier, gonna change the landscape, and everything that we know that ever exists before. And some of us gonna leave the island. That's what we're gonna
Maybe
happen.
my children are better.
No, it can't be no
Right.
better. It cannot be for no better. You cannot bring the next 50,000 plus who we don't know about here. It turned the population into a 70, 80,000 people for no better. What better can that bring when the model is out in Bermuda, where you can only use one car for a family and all this different stuff? The traffic is so out of order. And I can put. The natives now, you don't even know who is the natives in Bermuda. They can't even afford to buy land. The negative is worse than the advantage.
Bankie,
Ain't nothing going to come out of this.
You only get up on team Barabbas, you know, because you don't understand. Watch here. You can't know what's going on out in the ocean if you just stop on the shore. You gotta go out there. You
Yes,
let me.
Me not play game. Me not use fancy words. You're talking the nonsense. You feel me on the fancy words then.
I have to make tough decisions. The people elected me to represent them, and so I have to make the tough decisions. So even though
that's fine.
I
understand all that. I understand all that. But if I guarantee you that the people in St. Kitts and Nevis, because remember, you know, over in St. Kitts, Douglas already said there's a SSZ for the White Gates community. So we don't know how much units and shares down the ground get if it's 100,000 or 200,000. You see what I mean? So what happened in Nevis is going to happen in St. Kitts of Ikaria 1, you know. So I'm just all this just coming in showing the consciousness of our people. Are we really conscious? Are we just using? Are we just saying this thing? Are we really? We call it there. Are we independent? Are we a sovereign state? Are we just? So what you're saying? We're not sovereign. Then it's all about is might rule. As I listened Monday and Peter Adrian spoke about when it comes to sovereign. He said a power rule, you know, not about sovereign nothing. If a man want come, as you said, if a man come and take over the leaders and think they do it, isn't it? Because they might have the power. So this is bullying. This is just bullying. This is just raping. That's how it is.
Yeah, but
if you have a nation that should be respected, you all come and do what they want because you want to control them. Well, this not bullying and controlling because and all these things, man. Go on with us.
Me I say forward is like with the people that realize all of these things we put back ourselves in a slavery. You know what I mean? Now when you got all of these people coming in, right, to increase the population, like there I say the traffic gonna increase, you know, you're gonna cause a strain economically and every family and everything, but it's not just people coming in. It's like what can you expect from this in terms of like economic development if it's that you seek after? Now I personally, that's these things that change, you know, because the whole system. I see we just try to make it work, right? But that needs discarding, right? And be something altogether new. And that is why I promote Rastafari as the solution there. Check it out, because Rastafari have a solution and he have his own system. See, oh, we want to look at Rastafari as a religion and pack it over so. But Rastafari is more than a religion. Rastafari is a whole liberty. It is a civilization coming forward. See, that civilization what there now is a false thing. You know, it starts from in the 15th century. We read the history about this modern world, yeah. From Columbus, then come out here. The mother plan, see, or they're going to take over the world like Pinky and the brains are all going to call this thing. So we have to wake up and know that well, we people just like we free people, just like any other free people, and we must learn to deal with them just like, you know what I mean? We go to these big place organization world, I mean United Nations and all of these places, you know, and you will speak and, you know, just to make certain things be said, but then these things are you got action with it too, you know what I mean? And I don't think the government got hard work to do, I don't think they got I don't think they got a kind
Yeah,
of, you know, you have to, I say you have to know yourself, right? And then you're responsible for all them people there. You know what I
Ras,
mean?
Ras.
So the thinking,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
We dealing with engineers, you know. We deal with young men within my age group and so forth, and even younger. Engineers, doctors, scientists. We're talking about people who still doing their studies, African history and stuff like that. Go through the same school system. We got through. Some of them parents are Rasta same way, and we go to the same. So it's in the same community. So it's not like these are people who is foreign to us, you know. All right, this is our people. All of we come ancestors tried the same thing. This is our people who are governed all the time from since we set up this thing here. So it's not like we come from the 15th century. We go way back to the first day of Nama. You see what I'm trying to show you? We're always great people. We not just start from Columbus time. You see, we always been civilized. And that is the first
So
thing
why
we
we not
always
making our own,
start off.
why we not making our own system?
It's choices.
Eh?
It's choices and control mechanism that we
That
fall
will
under.
not happen, you
Because
know.
the same system you speak of in the 15th century, it still exists. You see? But it's governed by our people because, okay, if you don't want to even change your own constitution and you're going to speak all the time, not even a comma in there, and I just list out all these scholars, you know, engineers, you know, lawyers, scientists, great minds, and they speak very well, brightest of the brightest, and they don't even want to change a constitution where if you give a CBI person who buys the investment to buy land and become a citizen, they have the right to buy any amount of land as a native. They have the same right as a native. They have no historical thing about navies, you know. None. They live here for 25 years, have no historical connection with navies, you know. But they're going to say, oh, we're Navisian, they have nothing to do with me. Because the natives don't see us as one of us. Because I cannot leave America for 50 years and have no historical connection with America, and the Americans and they're going to see me as a native. Not going to work. And no countries does that. So why we Navisian want to accept this crap when someone who have a passport, oh, I'm a native, I live here for 25 years. Virgin, I don't want to hear that crap. You don't tell me that. You keep that stuff to yourself. And that is our problem. Our leaders have done that and make as if like everybody is equal to us. That is our problem. Our people is the new enslavers. That is our problem. We have the Hamilton last sugar mill that left there. The last sugar mill, you know, Hamilton sugar mill, you know, and it is run by some people from South Africa. You're gonna go there, pay to get entertained, who enslave you, and be taught by somebody else, by a Caucasian, tell about your history, what the ancestors have done to you. You can't make up them things, there, brethren.
Well, Bankie,
and this is the consciousness level we are speaking about. You see what I mean? And it's here, you hear me talking about it, you know, till I ask the premier these things, you know. And the people they open the mouth then, and since the place open, it talk about it, you know. You see? This is the consciousness level we here talking about, and then we keep silent. Watch these projects goes on, and then we say we're Rasta, we say we're Christian, we say we're Muslim, we say we're this, and these things happen to us. I'm not convinced we're serious. May convince.
Well, Bankie,
I'm not convinced we're serious, my brethren.
I'm glad you came to that conclusion, because that is kind of what I was highlighting when I went into the fact that the system that was designed to oppress us is still in existence. What has changed is only the color and the ethnicity of the people who sit in it. Now it's people look like me and you who continue the oppression. However, you know, the reasoning is always upful, and whenever Rastafari come together, you know what I mean, the whole of pleasant it is when brethren and sisters unite together, you know what I mean? It's a powerful reasoning. And we have already gotten to that point where we're about to exceed that 2-hour segment. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna give Ras Judah an opportunity to, you know, give his closing and anything he would want to conclude with. You know, I also want to take this time to inform you as Judah I that the platform is always open, so you can always return and we can, come back and, well, let's say not come back, forward, as we would say within Rastafari, and forward with another reasoning at some other point. You're always open to be back on the platform, and we like the diversity as well. That's one of the things that we seek to do. We don't just deal with politics, we deal with a lot of different issues, and so in your closing, because I don't think we got to that. We got into a lot of other things, but I don't think we got to that. Make the utterance in terms of the Ethiopian Christmas celebration that they would have had last week and all of that, and put that into your wrap up, and then we would be able to call it an evening for this edition of the topic. Oh, sorry.
We don't really.
Before you do, let me just put in his comments here. Eskari says, when will we have a Rastafarian in government then? So someone with our best interests. I am not Rastafarian, but I like your views. Stephen Mills said, good night, brother. Stephen Mills said, Bankie is breaking up. Lynetta Daniel says, I will like someone to explain why Haitians are excluded. Stephen Mills said, volume gone down. Eskari says, Lynetta, they fear another revolution. Okay, I guess she responded to that question. I just wanted to add those comments because sometimes, we want to make sure that we allow our listening audience to know that we appreciate them participating, whether by call or even just posting on the wall. So that's Judah I. You can make your, closing comments now as we got through that section.
Yeah, man. He's like, give thanks. You see, like when they say like, Rasta in government, Rasta is the government. Rasta have the government upon the shoulder. You see when you own yourself, because your head is your government, You're the sovereign people. You know what I mean? Your head is your government. You have to decide things for yourself. What is in your best interest and all these things. We have to come alive within ourselves. We being like we program, just like how the AI program. Just so we program, you know what I mean? We have to think with one thoughts. You see? Yeah, dance you want dance, walk you want to walk, you know what I mean? You're just as equal and valid as any other body one, you know what I mean? But we still got a kind of mentality through slavery, right? And colonialism where they make you feel so you is the property of somebody. Okay? When you're the god and goddesses of the earth, that is the truth. That is where it begins. There are the Bible telling things there. But that's another story for another time, Rastafari, yeah? I'll give thanks and praises. Imperial Majesty, I am Emperor King Selassie. Jah time has come. See? Now, British monarchy, Empire Selassie. Give thanks, yeah?
Rastafari. Bankie, your closing comments as we wrap up?
Yahsonn, I just want to thank the listening and viewing audience for choosing Real Entertainment Network and giving us this time another Tuesday evening. Carry on listening to the media house and letting our guest Josh Judah I thanks for being a part of the show and being our guest this evening. Good reasoning, greatly appreciate him, and thanks for the reason also. Yahsonn, when it comes to decision making, certain decision, whether one former prime minister or one former premier did something without consulting, Iran. Me not hold no say from a politician, my virgin. None. Because the all got the same cup, which I overstand that. You see, some man don't butt up things. So when those who on the board and whatever the advisors, well, that's fine. But when it comes to decision making like these, you're gonna take not nationals, not your own people, and then you want to sign on a decision to bring in 50,000 people or 10,000 families, and because you want to populate the country and think these things is okay, then you have some concerns about the cost of land going up to protect the locals, and then you have to worry about, we have water issues, but then and all this thing. I mean, come on, and then you think these things is okay, and what decision and what are we willing to sacrifice, and what are we willing to sacrifice and use these things 30, 40, 50 times, and then when the premier speak, he used the word fear, and next 30 times. So I mean, we went to night school, so all the way when we were at school, we eyes shut. We took our back turn backwards, so only them smart. We all are the same gene pool. We all are the same gene pool. No, it's not a matter of things not change. There comes a time, if you hold a dark tail, or if you run a donkey back against a wall, they will push back. That's the reality. Surely. If we fear to fight, the children going to fight, you know. Remember, if we fear to fight, the children going to fight. That is the reality. Because what is happening is, you can't tell me all these things are orchestrated and planned. These things that just come out of store. I keep saying here for the last 5 years, you know, nothing surprises me from our people in Yahsonn, and keep saying it. So what our leaders are doing, our people will rise up. I see it because they are forcing, bringing people into your community that are going to affect you socially, economically, take up your housing, take up your food. It's just a reality, it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Well, we're going to see how the barley grow. Because we're going to keep inviting the guests, asking the questions on them. Because when they come here and speak, me not speak for me, you know. Me speak for the people who converse with me and tell me how they feel. So I'm speaking for the people. So I tell the premier, me speak for the people. He can't tell me to speak for nobody. When I come here night time, me not speak for me, you know, my virgin. I speak for the voices that must speak to me. So I can speak it out to the leaders and them. So when I invite them to come on this show, then I come here for me. Can me go stay on my farm all day and hear me all evening with me youth and them and laugh and chat and whatever and smoke me herb and listen to my music and me good in me hum up. Nothing bother me. I'm here because there are young people listening to the sound of my voice. Young people in their 20s and teenagers and who have an interest and a love and genuinely want to see the country to be better and want the resources to help to benefit them too. And this is what we people them want. We people have realized our electoral office and stuff have now is not depending on them themselves. It's now depending on the non-nationals coming into the country from St. Lucia, from Dominica, from Haiti, from all over the world. They are seeing these things. That's why our leaders are manipulating this kind of stuff. They don't care about the locals no more. And they realize that because the voting have been dropped. You can check the information, the evidence is there. It's low voter turnout. The people are fed up of all the all political leaders, and they know that. Fed up. Yeah. You hear that's the reality.
And we got
give thanks for the reasoning. Give thanks for coming on the show again. Yes, and definitely looking for in the future. You know what I mean, for next reason again. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. I can tell. You know, by the passionate, conclusion there from Bankie, wrapping up from Bankie, that the discussion was a discussion that was very much necessary and important and brought out, a lot of issues that sometimes we don't really get to engage in. But I'm happy that we are able to do that and be able to put certain different perspectives out there for people to think about, because that's what we really want you to do. We want you to be able to think out of the box and think about things in ways that you probably never thought about it before. I want to send enough respect again to Ras Judah for bringing, those different perspectives to the platform. Huh?
I said, we ain't seen no box. He said, think outside of the box. We ain't even seen no box, right? Yeah,
okay,
box.
we don't see the box. Okay, I have that. People, the reasoning was upful. We look forward to having a reasoning like this again. We're going to see you guys on Friday for another edition of Everything Agriculture.
On Friday, let me say this, Yahsonn. It should be, I'm working on something. I might have a special guest and maybe have a next special edition of the topics. So I'm still between if we're going to be Everything Agriculture or the topics. But once the poster come out, we work with it. But I'm working on
Well,
a
we'll have a
special
show.
guest. Yes, we'll have definitely the show we'll
Whether
keep,
it's everything
definitely.
agriculture or the topics, we'll
Yes,
have a show on
yes,
Friday. So look
yes.
forward to us on Friday. People want to say special thanks to the Real Entertainment team, all the hard workers behind the scenes. Want to encourage you again to go to the YouTube platform, subscribe, like, click on the notification bell so that anytime we have a program that you are informed. Until Friday, people, enough respect, guidance, and protection. One love.
Rastafari, Selassie first. You not dwell in the secret place of the Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I myself, Selassie, the Rastafari, He's in I refuge and I fortress. I Jah, and in Him will I trust. Selassie first. Jah Jah, Rastafari. Over Rastafari, rise I up this